Hey guys, it's Rena here, and so it's about 3 in the morning, but I decided I wanted to film this haul for you guys. Not only because I'm excited to post it and show you guys what I got, but also because I really want to use some of the stuff that will be in this haul. I'm a huge reader and I love to read. I've been basically, when I was around 9 years old, I was reading stuff that like high school students were reading, and I think back to the first book that I remember reading when I was in like 3rd or 4th grade was A Child Called It. And everybody told me, don't read that book, because I was so young. I was only like 8 or 9 years old, and everybody's like, no, 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 don't read that. And I read it, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And a couple years later, some of his other books I picked up as well, and I really enjoyed those. So Dave Peltzer is an amazing author, and I absolutely fell in love with those books. And everybody tried to, sorry about the shaky camera, guys, just put this back on the tripod. But everybody tried to persuade me from reading it, and that was kind of, I think, what sort of inspired me to want to read more, was the fact that I was on such a high reading level. That at the time was basically stuff that high school students were reading, and I was like not even in middle school yet. I was in elementary school. So I have a lot of books, so you'll see a lot of books, but I also have some pusheen merch. I have lip balm stuff. I also have some blind boxes over here to the side. So let's get started. The first book that you'll see here is Fellowside. I always check the sale table, which is really cool because Barnes & Noble can be pretty expensive, although they do have a large variety, much larger than anywhere else in my area. So I don't mind paying up when I see a book that looks really good. But I also always check out the sale table, and I found some really good deals on some interesting looking books. This was one of them. So I have never read The Girl with All the Gifts, but if I like Fellowside, then I'll probably check it out. This book was originally $27, and that's pretty pricey, although this book is easily like 400 to 500 pages. I would say, it's almost 500 pages, which I kind of figured. But I was able to pick this up for less than $7 because it was on sale. So this is interesting. It seems like it's about like a prison, and a little boy is kind of like talking through the walls to another prisoner, and excuse me, and it just says like there's a chilling message, and will she listen? And it seems really interesting. There's a lot of praise by different people for this book here, and it was a really amazing price, so I definitely wanted to check that out. I'll go ahead and show another book because there is more books coming, but there's also other stuff as well, so it's not going to be just a book haul. So if you're here just for the books, you may just be here to see the pusheen stuff or just to see everything. So the next book is The Widow. And a lot of times, it's funny because a lot of times people like, don't judge a book by its cover. And I get that when it comes to like humans and stuff like that. It makes sense. But what actually draws me to an actual book is the cover. A lot of times it won't necessarily be just the cover artwork, but it will be the title or the author and stuff like that. So I just thought that was kind of ironic and a little bit funny. I have heard of Fiona Barton before, but I don't think I've read anything by her, at least not recently. This was another book that was on sale. It was originally $16, and I picked it up for $5.98, less than $6. And one thing that drew me to this book, not really the cover, because the cover is just kind of like boring and plain for the most part. Another thing that drew me to this book was the fact that they had something quoted that Stephen King actually said about this book, which was, if you liked Gone Girl and The Girl on the Train, you might want to pick up The Widow. Engrossing and suspenseful. So Stephen King, I've read some of his stuff. A lot of it's more gruesome than what's up my alley, but I do really like the mystery suspense genre. So I figured that If it was something that was kind of up his alley, it would be something similar to what I liked, and that's why another reason why I originally like picked up this book and was like, I want to know more. And then when you flip it over, it also says like that there's some quotes of stuff that like Oprah.com has said, and I mean, if Stephen King and Oprah think this book is good, it's probably good. So this is just about a widow, and it's a crime suspense type of book, which really interests me. Although I do have a lot of books. I mean, I have a closet full of books. If I could fit a bookshelf in here, I would have a bookshelf, and it would probably be full. But since I have so many books, I have lots of different genres, but we all have our preferred thing to read. And a lot for me is that suspense, like, can I figure it out before I get to the end of the book? Or, something that you're just reading and you're like, what? I can't believe that happened. Like those things get me. So I really was interested in reading this book. And another thing about Stephen King, if you guys have heard of Stephen King's movie that he did, The Shining, which was filmed in Colorado in the mountains at this hotel. A lot of it was actually, which is not probably known to the public, but a lot of it was actually not filmed at the hotel, even though the hotel is featured in the film The Shining, and like, room 407 and all that stuff with the paranormal things. I'm gonna tell you a story in a little bit, a couple minutes, when we get to one of the other books that's just slightly off camera over here. I'm gonna tell you a story about the Stanley Hotel and Stephen King and how I almost died when I was there. So now let's show some other stuff besides books, because a lot of you guys may be here, for the other items. So I have these blind boxes, and actually I'm just showing you two. I'm just going to show you one, but I actually have 6 of these all together, which I'll be unboxing in a different video. But I do just want to say, like, for the most part, I'm not a toy collector. I don't really collect toys. The only thing really that I collect is Pokemon cards, and I do lots of unboxings of that here on the channel, so if that's something that interests you. But I do have like some Pokemon coins and figures, and I have some collectible dolls. Here, I can show you. I have some, excuse my mess, it's a mess, but I have some collectible dolls and stuff up there. So I do collect a little bit, but I'm not really like what I would consider a collector. But the reason why I wanted these Tokidoki figures, actually, besides the fact that they were half off, was because they look amazing. I've heard that the quality is really good. The artwork is awesome. I mean, these ladies right here are super fancy. That one's going to the beach. I mean, this one has donuts on her head. But, like, I really love the way Tokidoki does its art and stuff. And these were originally $9.99, and I paid half price, which is $4.97, because they were 50% off. And these are actually like collectible figures, because it says ages 14 and up. So I picked up all the ones that my store had, which was 6. I actually got 2 at one Barnes & Noble and the rest at another Barnes & Noble that is just a little bit up the road, actually. And I'm not, like I said, really, I'm not a toy channel. I do review sometimes on toys that I get to review from companies, obviously, because that's required and I want to share it with you. But I'm not trying to take away from your, other YouTubers and toy channels and stuff like that. So the next book that I actually have was one that I believe I just paid full price for, and this is Girl Last Seen. So it just says a heart-stopping thriller that had me guessing till the very end. So that's something I really like. If you can trick me and I'm thinking it's one thing, and then at the last minute you're like, no, it's this, and I'm like, what? How did I know that? Like, if you throw twists and turns at me in a book, that's something I really like, because often I find a lot of stuff that I read is just like, aw, I knew that. But even if it was still interesting. So it just says Olivia Shaw has been missing since last Tuesday, and she was last seen outside the entrance of her elementary school. So a girl goes missing, and it just says, I forced myself to look at the face in the photo and slightly smudged features. I can't bring myself to move. Olivia Shaw could be my mirror image rewound to 13 years ago. So my best guess, I mean, I'm still going to read it, and it's probably still going to be really good. My best guess is the girl who has been missing all her life, has been lied to, and doesn't know that that's her, and that's probably her. But anyways, this book was $14.99, so it wasn't too expensive. And I just thought it was really interesting. It says 2 missing girls 13 years apart, so it might not be her, but it's probably connected. So I'll leave the lip balm kit because that's kind of just chilling in the background. And I'll show you a pusheen thing. So the next thing I have here is just some stickers. These are actually like the 3D puffy stickers, so they're not just like basic printed stickers. They're really cool, and Pusheen is so adorable. Like, she's so cute, and Pusheen is actually a girl. And I have a little chubby cat. Well, he's not little. I have some chubby cats myself, actually, and my boy cat really loves food. So when I think of Pusheen, I often think like, oh, that's Midnight's like twin, even though they don't really look alike because my Midnight is all black. But they're just so cute. Like, he has a bag of chips. She has a bag of chips. That one has balloons, which that artwork is on something else as well. This one's eating ice cream. That one's in a donut. So these are super cute, and they were, oh no, it doesn't say the price. Oh, the price is not on here, but I don't think it was too much. Oh, the price is on here. I'm just so blind, and it's like 3:30 in the morning. These were $5, a little less than $5, which I thought was a really good price for like official Pusheen merch. And these are like the good quality 3D puffy stickers. And this is cute. It's just the 6 reasons you should consider being a cat. Free food, free rent, sleep as long as you want, toes that look like beans, look great with no effort, and license to kill. So that's cool. I'll probably cut that out and save that, actually. So the next book that I want to show you before I show some other stuff is, I apologize if this video is probably going to be a little longer than I had anticipated, but I like just talking to you guys. So this book right here is called The Lost Causes, and this actually was $17.99, so I paid full price for it. But this seems interesting. It just is basically about different people that would normally be considered like losers or lost causes in this type of society that we live in. So it says the rich girl, the obsessive, the hypochondriac, which is a person who always thinks they're hurt or sick, the addict, the hot-tempered athlete, people that are thought to be lost causes or losers actually team up with the FBI and help them on a murder case, and each teen's past problems unlocks a ability within them that's like a psychic ability which helps them solve the murder. So this seemed really interesting, and I thought it was definitely worth the money. So the next thing I have here is actually a lip balm kit, and I'm like most people where I have tons of lip balms and I lose them and I stash them all over the place and I lose them and I buy new ones and I lose them and then I use up one finally and then I buy more. But I also really like crafts and DIY type of stuff, so I've really been wanting a lip balm kit, and I really liked this one for a lot of reasons. One, because the only on Netflix show, Project MC Squared, is actually a really good show, and I have watched it. It's about girls that are super smart and prove, to everybody that being smart is okay. You're not a loser, you're not weird or anything like that if you're smart, and it's actually cool to be smart. So their slogan is smart is cool, and I really liked these lip balms. You can see some of the things that it comes with in here, but I'll show you the rest on the back. So I really like that show as well, and I was going to purchase this at Target, but I couldn't find it at any Target, and it actually was the same price at Barnes & Noble, and they had a couple of them, so I picked this up. It has 15 pieces, and it says it includes everything you need. So 5 lip balm tubes, which you saw in the little like peek window, with labels, 4 flavoring droppers, which is wild watermelon, very vanilla, which I won't use the vanilla one because I don't like vanilla. Also strawberry and totally tropical, and you can kind of like stack them, mix them, marble them, and stuff like that, which is really cool. It also comes with a shimmer, so if you want to use like add some shimmeriness to your lip balms. Also, if you have some like craft glitter or anything like that that's not already mixed with anything, like loose glitter, you can probably add that as well. It also comes with a dropper, let's see, gel base, wax chips, which you probably have to melt, and a measuring cup, a plastic spoon, a stir stick, and easy to follow directions. So that's cool. I'll just lay that down. And it was $14.95. Next, I'm going to show you another product right here. Is kind of probably hard to see because it's like a clear cup, but it's a clear tumbler cup. And I'm absolutely like obsessed with these tumbler cups. And I feel like I'm more inclined to drink water, especially where I don't have the best kidneys. Actually, I really have to drink a lot of water. Like my nephrologist, which is a kidney specialist, would like me to drink about 120 ounces of water a day at minimum. So that's quite a bit more than your regular just eight glasses. So this was $9.95 at Barnes & Noble, which I thought was a great price for this tumbler, and it is licensed official Pusheen merch, so that's really cool as well. I thought that was a great price, and it's really cute because it has food all over it. And then to the story that I was going to tell you, which is one of the reasons what drew me to this book. So this book on the cover, which the artwork didn't really draw me in, but the title did, because it says, I was dead for 13 minutes and now I want to know why. And I looked at this book before and I didn't buy it because it was full price. But then I was like, I should have bought it. So when I went back, I actually bought it. And the reason that drew me to this book brings me back to the Shining movie and Stephen King. And what I was talking about, the hotel. I did, unfortunately, my grandmother passed away last year, but I did thankfully get to return to Colorado for her service. And while I was there, we did do a couple of things. And one of the things that has been on my bucket list, so to speak, not that I have an official bucket list, is to go back to the Stanley Hotel. And the reason that is because when I was there in around 2012, August 2012, visiting family. I was supposed to be out there for like 3 weeks, and I spent a week of my vacation out there, and I was starting to get sick right at the end of that week. And at first I just thought, well, the pain is nothing, I'm traveling. Colorado is much different weather wise and stuff like that than it is here on the East Coast, because we're above sea level quite a bit in Colorado. That's why they call it the Mile High City. So we went up to the mountains, and I was like, no, no big deal. I'll probably be fine. I'll take ibuprofen or something. I'll be okay. The pain started increasing, actually. We went to go horseback riding. That was my first time as an adult to go horseback riding, and it was amazing. I don't even remember the name of the ranch, but we got to Stanley Hotel, which is not very far from the ranch, and we actually was sitting there in the cafe, and I just remember getting so sick. I was saying I was freezing. I wanted to go home. Not that I could technically go home because it was 3,000 miles away, but I wanted to go back to my Nana's house. And I was just getting increasingly more sick, and the pain was getting so bad. I remember I felt like I was about to pass out. And they refunded our non-refundable tickets, thankfully, and we had originally just said, let's hop in the car and let's just go back to my grandmother's house, and I'll rest and, maybe go to the clinic or something. I unfortunately never made it back to my grandmother's house. I was rushed to the hospital. This is the first time I really told my story, so I apologize if it's a little bit long. I did write it on my blog, but never really told it the full story on YouTube, so I guess you can just skip this part if you don't really care. But I got very lucky, and I believe it was probably fated somehow. But there was actually, we're out in the Colorado mountains where there's miles and miles in between cities and stuff like that. We actually passed a festival that was there in town, and I do believe that I would not have made it if that festival was not in town. That was either some fate or some serious luck. But we saw a police officer, and he actually called an ambulance, and it met us at the local fire department. And another fellow officer, actually, I unfortunately don't have their names, otherwise I would definitely shout them out for helping me for sure, and just, you know, doing their job. But we went to the fire station, and they started to work on me, and the ambulance got there. And the one thing I just really remember is they couldn't get my IV in because I was bleeding so much from my arms. Like, every time they would stab me with the needle, basically, I would just gush blood everywhere. So normally protocol is to get an IV line in before they drive away, but they were not able to do that. They did later at the hospital get an IV line in, and I remember the EMT kept saying, like, my thermometer is broken. There's no way this is accurate. Actually, his thermometer was not broken because he did get a brand new one out of the pack and take my temperature again, and it was 105.4. So they told me when I got to the hospital that I was almost dead. Like, I was barely hanging on. So I got lucky. I got really lucky. And I would not be here today if it wasn't for all the people that thankfully helped me. Not only my own family, but the police department in Loynes, Colorado, and the Loynes Fire Department, the Stanley Hotel, of course. I remember when I was in the hotel, I was sitting by the fireplace, and I kept saying, I'm freezing, I'm so cold, and I was shaking and shivering. People were looking at me like I was nuts, because we're in Colorado, it's like 100 degrees, it's August, and I was freezing. That's because I had such a high fever. But they took me to the hospital after doing a lot of tests. They said I was barely alive, like, a few minutes later, and I wouldn't have made it. It turns out, actually, I had a serious kidney infection and a blockage in my left kidney, which I wasn't able to pass enough urine, which was what causes the infection from the blockage. And actually, the infection went septic, and when you go into sepsis, it's actually, the infection is going into your bloodstream, and it's almost always fatal when that happens. So I really did defy the odds and survive something I wasn't supposed to survive, which is kind of what really drew me to this book, which I can be showing you guys if you want to read this inside. So I didn't mind paying full price for it. And I was, shortly after that, I was rushed to emergency surgery. And I spent 10 days in the hospital, and then another 3 days before it was safe I spent 3 more days at my grandmother's house before the hospital, said it was safe for me to make the travel home. So that is my story, and I apologize that it made this video so much longer, but I feel like I really wanted to share it with you guys. A couple more books, and then I have another pusheen thing I want to show you guys. So this book seemed really interesting as well, and it was 50% off. So originally this book was $25.99, and the 50% off took off $13, so I only paid around $13 for this. And here is what that is about. So this book seemed really interesting as well. We have the last pusheen item for this video, and I'll go ahead and open this up so you guys can see it. Not only do you get this adorable little pouch that has Pusheen and Stormy, some little cat balloons right there, which is so cute. And this is the super stationery set. This was only $10, and it is an official licensed pusheen merch. So there's that. It came with 2 pencils. This one is pusheen, just doing lots of cute things. Oh, angry pusheen, sleeping pusheen, party pusheen, eating pusheen. And then of course it says pusheen right there with the registered trademark. And it's a nice looking pencil. And then it also came with another pencil as well, which just has some food and some pusheens all over it. Also in here, it came with a really cute pen. I mean, pusheen's on a burger and eating a donut. My cat's probably going to run in here like, donut! And no, we don't really feed him junk food or sweets at all, but I just give him a bite or two every once in a blue moon. So it's a pen, and I've discussed that with the vet and everything, and they know, and they said it's okay. Once in a blue moon for him to have something that he really likes. Just like people. Then it comes with 2 highlighters. They're both the same, but one is pink and one is just your yellow highlighter color. Then it also comes with a really adorable pusheen eraser. Like, these are so cute. I don't know if I could use them. And here is a sharpener. I will use them, but they're really cute. I can always use more. I'm going to save the pouch too as well and use it. And then it comes with a little notebook that just says, I'm busy. And what I really like about this is every single page of the paper has that design on it too, not just the cover. So it's really cute. And then quickly, one last book, which I also paid full price for this. But this is the Natasha Preston book. And this is You Will Be Mine. She has several other books like The Cabin, which I've read, and The Cellar. I've actually read every single one of her books that she currently has out, except for this one, which is one of the reasons why I bought it. But it also, like, the info seemed really interesting as well. So I picked this up, and it was pretty affordable. It was only $11, and this does say, like, ages 14 and up, so may not be something you want to read if you're younger. But that was everything in this video. I'm so sorry that I took up so much time talking. You can feel free to skip that part. But I did really just want to kind of tell my story and really what drew me to that one book, because that is the honest truth. You know, since this is a longer video, like, hopefully if you guys didn't want to just sit through the whole thing of me talking, like, just pop it on while you're just busy doing stuff, because I do that a lot as well. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it, and it also would help a lot. Also, I will definitely be doing unboxings in the future of the lip balm kit and the Tokidoki blind boxes. And if you guys want to see more hauls and unboxings and couponing stuff and all the other stuff I do here on the channel, then I would love to have you as a subscriber. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.